Maryland is fighting back against the Trump administration's cuts to AmeriCorps. To date, more than 20 organizations and 500 service workers were hit with no prior notice. WMER 2 News' Blair Sable shares state leaders' new call to action to preserve the critical work that these programs do while the state gets the White House to hear them yet again.
We did have a banner that hung right here, so we have taken that down.
The past week has been chaos at the Digital Harbor Foundation. 8 service members cut, its Harbor Navigators project suddenly shuttered as AmeriCorps funding vanished overnight. It's just one of more than 20 organizations in Maryland feeling the sting of the fresh funding cuts from the White House. Adding insult to injury, Director Jade Burnham says she was told to get rid of any related signage.
So we removed pretty much all evidence of the program existing, but we haven't removed them from our hearts or our minds, and we're going to fight for them.
Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown calls the cuts illegal.
Every day is like waking up to a natural disaster with a sense of urgency on what do we do to protect our communities, right, our families. But the only difference is that a natural disaster, more often than not, there's nothing you can do to stop it.
The office is now leading the charge along with 26 other states to sue the Trump administration over this issue. It's one of more than a dozen lawsuits filed by the state since Trump took office for his second term. In the meantime, state leaders like Senate President Bill Ferguson and AmeriCorps alumni are calling on others to pitch in to help these programs weather the storm as the fight plays out in the courts.
It's a reflection of how we value service, volunteerism, and building stronger communities. These are not abstract ideals. They are the lifeblood of our civic culture.
On Thursday, Ferguson announced $80,000 in donations from BGE and the South Baltimore Gateway Partnership would help support both Digital Harbor and another AmeriCorps-backed program in Baltimore, Elevate.
It was definitely news to my ears and my heart, so I'm really hopeful that we can make some changes and get some of these services restarted.
Now I can confidently go back to those young people and say, we got it, at least for now. We're gonna be able to mitigate the loss.
Brown says he anticipates movement in the case by next week and hopes a judge will grant an injunction to restore the $400 million in AmeriCorps funding and these vital services. In Federal Hill, Blair Sable, WMAR 2 News.
Now, at the time the cuts were announced, a White House spokesperson said in a statement, AmeriCorps has failed 8 consecutive audits and identified over $45 million in improper payments in 2024 alone. President Trump has the legal right to restore accountability to the entire executive branch.